Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Conor Green. I'm a technical account manager here at LaunchDarkly. We're going to spend a little bit of time today talking about RBAC role-based access controls, setting up some of those controls and testing them, and kind of the scenarios that you want to use to inform how exactly folks are using LaunchDarkly. Role-based access is a really popular enterprise feature, and really for two reasons. I think first, it allows you to scope the work that members of your team can do in LaunchDarkly, and almost more importantly, in some cases, allows you to scope the work that they cannot do in LaunchDarkly. This could be something like bypassing an approval process. This could be something like creating a flag in a new environment or new project where maybe their team doesn't really have necessarily the know-how to know whether or not that flag is going to make an impact. So when we think about really scaling out the use of LaunchDarkly, allowing more and more members in, teams, different collaborators from data science and product, we want to make sure that we're still running a very stable platform, and roles are a big way to do that. And so before we get into kind of what we're going to do in the platform, I'm actually going to take us over to the actions page. And what this does is really outline all of the different resources. So from accounts, code references, experimentation, feature flags, it's going to give you an idea of what are the actions even available, right? What are the things that I could, in a world of possibility, do against LaunchDarkly? And that gives us some idea of where to start. And if we look at an example policy of maybe the writer as an example, right? The writer at a low level is just going bit by bit and saying resource by resource, I want access to write to all the things that I want to write on. So that's where that kind of reference comes from. And the reason that we want to take a look at actions is because maybe we're in a more secure environment and we're starting with maybe reader as our base policy, like we'll see later today. I still want to give them access to read maybe everything or just specific projects. But from that kind of starting point, from that home base, I'm going to create spikes on a resource by resource basis that are going to allow me to enable sets of actions. And so the example that we're going to use today is our Conor G test environment here. And we're going to make a change to bike pricing. Right now, I'm logged in as myself. I'm an admin in this current environment. We're going to go see if we can make some edits, maybe with a different persona and a different member. So I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go to members. I have a demo 2 set up here, Conor Green demo 2. Right now I have reader, right? Kind of a pretty safe starting point for a lot of our customers. And we're going to share kind of the view of what they see in the reader point of view. So I'm here, I'm going to reload just so I have the latest. And I'm going to go take a look, right? This is my demo 2 right here now. I want to turn this flag on. I'm ready to go. We're ready to release new pricing. Reader's not allowing me to do that, right, as it should, right? That's the permission I have. And so, I'm demo 2. I need to get this done for my sprint. I'm going to go reach out to my admin, Conor, and see if I can get my roles changed. So let's go through that process here. So I'm going to go switch back now to kind of our admin view, which is in account settings. And I'm going to make a change to our role. So I'm going to go into our role here and open this up. And I'm going to go take a look at the role that we have set up. So there's really 2 things that we're going to add in this Conor role test. The first being, we're going to allow all the actions in our specific environment. So you could specify this to be production, you could specify it to just be QA, but by and large, we want to give them access to make those edits. And then really importantly, you'll notice this if you do read the actions page closely, bypass required approval. So maybe I have approval set up in production right now, and I don't really want demo 2 to be able to bypass that, right? Approvals are part of my kind of structure into workflow. Maybe they're facilitated via ServiceNow. We're not going to really build in a way to do that. So I'm going to add another action here to kind of clip that behavior. And that's part of the value of reading the actions page, is getting understanding of not only what you want them to do, but what are the things that we want to explicitly deny in these roles that we create. So from here, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go into my members page. I'm going to find demo 2 again. I'm going to open this up. And instead of reader, I'm going to go ahead and assign them a custom role here. So I'm going to go ahead and save my role with Conor test, right? Even if they're a part of maybe another team where they got reader or reader as default, I could assign this through a team as well. But for the example here, we're going to just set it up with Conor role test. I'm going to go back and share my other example bike pricing. I'm going to refresh here as demo 2, just to make sure we're all up to speed, logged in. And I'm going to go ahead here and up my DevNet change. You'll see I can recruit, view, and request approval. I can also schedule those changes. And so those are kind of the changes that we want to see, right? I have to type in my reason and go get approval from Conor, or if I just want to go and schedule those changes, I can do so as well. So, right, we've successfully facilitated the access that they need. I'm going to show you why that bypass approval is important really quick as well. So I'm going to go back here and share kind of my admin view again, and I'm going to go make an edit to this role. I'm going to go in here, and I'm actually going to remove this deny of bypass approvals. So we'll see kind of an interesting change in behavior, right? So I still have, if we double check, still have my latest actions. But if I go back and take a look at what maybe demo 2 is able to do now, and maybe what like a could be room for improvement version of this bike pricing rule is, I reload. I'm going to go in here and turn it off. And when I go down to this click button, I actually can save without approval. So I can go in and test. And this still gets logged in the audit log and all that kind of good stuff. But right, I've basically created a less secure environment because I wasn't as familiar with the action page. So when we're thinking about roles at a high level, it can be complicated. It can be really complex. But we want to give ourselves some room to work with. And by taking advantage of an understanding of testing kind of in this 2-member system and taking advantage of the incognito window to make sure we can test kind of on one. You can also test with another member of your team if you just kind of want to pair program on it to an extent. But keeping a track of this action page, taking advantage of the example templates and what they're about is going to go a long way in helping you set this up really quickly. So to summarize, there's really 2 things that you want to think about when you're setting up roles. One, what do you want folks to be able to do in the platform? What are the things that you don't want them to be able to? And it's really helpful when you're testing these. A lot of times I'll start on paper, or I'll start with a little note sheet to the side. Hey, this is what I think this role should do. I may want to take this action out, I may not. But eventually to get it into the platform and almost think about it as a development exercise to an extent, kind of iterate towards the roles, permissions, and team structures that you think are actually going to best benefit your business. And so with that, you should have what you need to get started, feature flagging and feature flagging safely. Really appreciate you spending time here today, and feel free to reach out to your account team, come to office hours, or reach out to support if you have any other questions. Thank you.